What are some traditional gender roles from the opposite sex that you feel like is easy?
Being a father.
You think being a father is easy?
Being a father should be easy. I'm a mother and I do it every day.
Right.
You do
Nobody
what?
gotta tell me
The disrespect is
how to
outrageous.
do it.
No.
Not, all right, easy. All right. Being a mother is not easy, but it's getting done.
Being a father is not easy.
You said
Being a father's
you
not
said
easy.
you said being a father is easy. You do it every day. That's what you said.
I said being a father is easy. I'm a mother and I do it every day.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Daily Wrap Up Crew. No man, but I go by the name of Eli. As always, follow me on Instagram, The Real Y Eli. As always, we got Ace with us.
You ain't never gonna change that up though. Like that shit.
That's my signature.
That shit
And I did change
trash,
it up.
man.
You know I usually say no book.
Yeah, but man, it's still trash. Though.
Man and Eli Manning, they know who that is.
I guess, man. Yes, indeed, it's your boy Ace. That's my greeting. I'm giving out bars like they chicken treating. You heard? Ace to go 24.
Last but not least, we got Jew.
What it do? It's your boy Jew. And this episode's for Halloween. My favorite holiday because I get to see ladies punani. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like
Cameron is really your favorite rapper, bro. Because they ain't no.
you know, I gotta have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Did it not work? And my Halloween costume is a comedian. I got y'all niggas laughing. I'm doing my thing right now. You feel me? Like,
I guess. Like, yeah, we did get a good laugh out of it.
You know
so
what I'm saying?
I'll give you that. Anyway.
but you ain't telling me your Halloween costume. You a clown ass nigga over there. You know what I'm saying? Comedian. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing my thing.
Okay. Don't worry. I'm gonna get you.
Damn.
back.
Okay.
Listen, man, we got some special guests in it, and y'all see who the childish one is. Like, man, we got some special guests in the buildings. Ladies, let them know where they can follow you at.
All right, my name is Brittany. Follow me on Instagram, Yummy Champagne. Follow my event space company as well. Where am I looking? Here?
Yeah.
My event space company, Milani Ray's, Milani Events. Follow me.
Period.
You gotta do this though.
With that hand,
Listen, I got it from Amazon.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Keontae. You can follow me on @TheSoundsOfKeontae, where I will be singing. You can also follow me on @QS Events. I'm an event planner. And @Elevated Sounds, because I also have my own little record label.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
What's up?
Period.
My name is Milagros. My name is Milagros. I'm a licensed cosmetologist. My Instagram is I'm a bag of fun, and my hair page is the.hairtologist_.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
Listen,
is in the building.
for sure. Listen, before we get into these topics, make sure I hit that like button, subscribe. If y'all not already subscribed, join the membership, man. Cop the merch, man. Dailyrapupcrew.co. And make sure you listen to the podcast audio every Tuesday morning, 6 a.m., man. Let me get to this first topic. Since this is the Halloween edition, right? Who do y'all think y'all would have a better chance at surviving in a horror movie? We got Jason, we got Freddy Krueger, we got Michael Myers, and we got a fourth one. The Diddler. You know what I mean? Y'all never seen that one? The Diddler, y'all never seen that?
He say too much. He talking about Diddy.
All I'm saying, but the Diddler sound kind of like.
Why y'all laughing? Y'all think y'all could take that?
What?
That's crazy.
Sound
That's
crazy.
his.
No.
But no funny, the Diddler don't sound like a really like that. Really sound like a horror, like
It's
you know what I mean? Like
It sounds like a villain in Batman.
Nowadays, it sounds like a horror.
Yeah.
So who y'all think y'all got a better chance with?
Just know y'all can't run if he throw the baby oil on the floor. Slip and slide records.
that's a
Word.
fact. That's a fact. That is a fact.
And he
Wait,
got the
who's the
special
options?
slippers.
I think I'll be good with Freddy Krueger.
Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy
Yeah, 'cause
Krueger.
with Freddy Krueger, like just
You
wake
can't
up.
hide from Freddy.
Wake up.
That'd be hard though.
You think you waking and that nigga ain't
Right.
in that nigga
Exactly.
dream.
No,
Like,
I don't like that one. Nah, I
Uh-uh.
like Freddy Krueger. I'm gonna have to, because I think I could wake up.
Yeah. Nah.
And
Yeah,
come back
alright.
in and kill him.
You said Michael Myers?
Mm-hmm.
I'm good with Michael.
You good with Michael?
Yeah, you could just hide from him.
Mm-mm.
You
Huh?
don't think so?
I can hide from Michael.
Nah.
You cannot.
Nah,
Yes, you
Bro,
can.
these niggas is elite at hide and go seek. Like, they gonna find you, bro. Like, yo.
I feel like Michael Myers.
All right.
Okay.
That nigga walk hella slow and still catch you.
All right.
Exactly.
Ain't right when you hiding, your phone gonna go off, your sneaky link gonna be calling you. That nigga gonna find you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo. Who you think you got a best chance at surviving with?
I ain't even gonna lie. I'm gonna have to go with the diddler.
The diddler?
Oh.
I don't got
crazy.
time for none of that scary stuff. Like, I'm scared of all of that. Like,
You ain't scared of what he about to do?
listen, I feel like from what I've heard, I can handle a little bit of that.
Oh, okay.
Her Instagram is
She
what,
definitely
bag
was
of
at-
fun or something?
She definitely was at, she was at the Diddy party for
Sure.
sure. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Type
Like, yeah.
Nah, I can't handle everything, but I'm saying though, like,
How
Mhm.
you like, okay, we got a freaky ass nigga.
Ah.
My God.
She a fan. She a fan. She a fan.
She's a 69 devil right now. Like, yo, fellas, who y'all think y'all got the best chance of surviving?
For sure, I'm not picking dead. Yo, man. Damn. Can I pick like Harley Quinn or some shit? Like,
That's
Yo,
not a Halloween.
man. I'm gonna be a buck, bro. You won't survive. Ain't none of them you can survive. So,
Nah.
so you gotta go with Diddy.
nah, I ain't
You
gonna
gonna live?
fight for that.
Diddy, you will live. I'm not gonna lie.
He
Like,
gonna
you know what I'm
live.
saying?
He
Like,
probably will get
nah.
some money after. Feel me?
What? Oh, nah, she selling my ass. Get the fuck out of here.
She trying to
It's
get
your choice.
what you going?
I'm
What
gonna
you
go.
going with?
I'm gonna go with Jason, man. You know what I'm saying?
Jason.
Say something about his mama. Ain't he, what's his weakness? Water.
Order.
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, at least he got a weakness. You know what I'm
That's
saying? Like,
mm.
But you can't swim.
well, neither could he, nigga. He ain't gonna kill. We gonna kill each other, nigga. What's up?
The nigga said, you can't swim. Like,
We're
yeah.
drowning together.
You gonna be in there with the floaties. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
But I was picking Jason for that same reason though, and I can't swim, so I'ma just be floating while he drowning or some shit.
Now, fuck out of here. You some fake
He
dolphin
gonna
ass
take you
nigga.
down.
He gotta catch me, like, I mean, or swim. I don't know.
And the veneers is inflatable though, right? Then when they hit water, they
Yeah,
inflate.
for
Like, you know what
sure.
I'm
I mean,
saying?
I can just sit there.
That's what he do when he see ass too.
Yo,
Yeah.
I fake was gonna go with Freddie. Only because, like I said, if you don't go to sleep, like that nigga, you know what I mean? Like,
Nigga, how hard is it? You act like it's easy to stay awake though. Like, why I have to like?
but
it's
how
hard-
long? And then that nigga got more people to worry about. You think he worrying about me not falling asleep? He gonna get somebody else. He gonna be distracted with somebody else.
So-
It's in
Like,
your
I'm saying.
dreams. It's instant.
So you saying you want a nigga playing in your dreams?
First of all, what are you talking about? Like, you know what
I'm
saying?
asking you a
Like,
question.
I did not say all of that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
say you pick Freddie.
and Freddie don't be fighting like that. Like, you know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
The nigga kill you in your
Stop that,
dreams.
stop.
Like, yeah, but like I could buy, if it's my dreams, I could control my dreams, right?
Exactly.
So I could
No,
imagine.
you
I
can't
could
control
imagine.
You can't
Dreams.
even control your dreams
But you
regularly.
can though control your dream.
You can't.
I'm
How?
gonna be nah. It's my dream. He's
My
invading
dream,
my
I can control
dream.
When I wake up, I can control these things.
I ain't gonna
If
say I
I
can
take
control when I wake up.
control Of it.
Have you seen anybody in a movie control their dreams?
They ain't know they was capable. They ain't know they was
They
dreaming.
was-
That's
they
the problem.
They
Like,
was controlling it kind of in the movies. Y'all gotta watch it again. Okay.
They survived?
Yeah.
Yeah, she watching the bootleg version, y'all.
That's
Right.
like what version is
all right, but see,
that?
but I know what I'm up against. So like, I'm in my dream. He gonna be in there thinking shit sweet, and I'm gonna just manifest some shit. Like I'm gonna get a gun. It's my dream. I'll get a gun, shoot the nigga or some shit. Like,
Alright.
Nigga, that nigga like.
Get the
He
fuck outta
dancing,
here.
nigga, like
He got
Diddy.
the, he got
he gonna
the
be hitting it with the
buzz.
calls. Like, yo,
Like,
niggas
looking
not
at
no
shit so
Jedi.
You gotta have confidence in yourself. That's it.
For sure.
You'll
I
be
am
okay.
confident that y'all gonna die.
I got the best chance of surviving. Like, I mean, for sure.
I'm not gonna die. Diddy not a killer.
Oh yeah, well you gonna live,
Diddy
Diddy
a killer.
and you gonna have a good time.
He's a killer.
And you might be famous after,
said
like, you know
he
what I'm
is.
saying? Like, yo, let us know in the comments who y'all think y'all got the best chance of surviving.
hmm
I do before I get into this first topic, the official first topic. Y'all seen recently that there was a research done and it said New York City was the worst. It was ranked
Oh,
the
yeah,
worst
I see
place
that.
to date.
Mhm.
Can y'all give some reasons why y'all think New York City is ranked the worst place for dating?
We are
Well, I got a bunch.
busy
I think we're too aggressive.
and aggressive.
Who
Aggressive.
Who too aggressive?
Yeah, who's too aggressive?
Both.
Both men and females.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't women like aggressive men though?
Not too much.
Yeah,
Not too much.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? We have other things that we have to worry about, but worrying about if our men are going to be mad because we got this on.
You think that's appropriate to be wearing?
Excuse me?
I'm saying you think
A
that's
costume?
appropriate?
A costume? Or you talking about? I'm talking about anything like going outside. Men are aggressive. New York men are very aggressive
So you think that's why the dating market, or that's why dating is bad in
and
New York
very
City?
pause.
And what? Pause, like sus?
Yeah.
Oh, the niggas is sus.
Bro, y'all love
But
this.
we
This
not
is not
gonna get
this
into
is not
that.
Atlanta, bro. Y'all just love to say that shit. Like, you know what I
New
mean?
York
Like,
men are.
Would you experience that?
You chewing gum?
I can't.
Nah.
Oh, nobody said that. That's
I just
fine.
peeped. No.
That's
yo, y'all can get her
Yeah,
napkin.
shit,
Like,
yeah.
yo. Yeah, but what are y'all reasons why y'all think New York is ranked the worst?
Yeah, I think it's aggressive and
Nigga, Weasel just standing there.
I don't know. I feel like everybody's kind of like in temporary moments. Like New York is so fast, so busy. It's like and I don't know if this is just a New York thing, but since we're talking about New York, I'm gonna say it like everybody is like, okay, I got mad options. Like I can pick and choose in New York. I got to go over here. I go to Brooklyn. I go to Bronx. I go, like, you know what I'm saying. It's really big out here too. Yeah, and I don't think people are genuine anymore.
Okay.
Okay.
What's your thoughts on this?
definitely.
I think everybody's moving fast too. People lose interest so fast because it's like once you like somebody, if they not like giving you the attention or what you want within those couple days, it's like, all right, well, on to the next. All I gotta do is scroll and
Options.
somebody else. So it's a lot of distractions.
Okay, Ace, let me ask you, because if I ask you, I'm in a relationship, and then if I don't ask him, like, you ain't ask me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
I got answers.
You got answers? I think it's a mix of the women being too masculine and then the guys being too sassy, as the women say these days. I think, like they said, there's a lot of options. Like New York got one of the highest populations. I mean, it's a big city, you know what I mean? One of the biggest cities in the world. So there's a lot of options out here, I ain't gonna lie. So you mess up, I'm looking at for the next one, you know what I mean? And then we gotta talk about do people even want to be in relationships? You know what I mean? People don't even want to be in relationships these days because they scared of commitment, scared of getting cheated on, scared of looking crazy out here in these streets, you know what I mean, with social media and everything. So yeah, I think it's a couple of reasons, you know what I mean, in my opinion.
Jew, you say you got the answers. What's the answers?
I just feel like, why should I commit if all I gotta do is spin the bag and you gonna suck my, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas, all niggas got.
Yo, King, we ain't say this in a minute. Yo, we need to put that on the t-shirt.
Put that on the t-shirt.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas, and they not really spending no real bag, but you know what I'm saying? There's no true value in relationship. There's no real commitment needed when you getting everything in exchange for nothing. You know, we're not talking to each other respectfully. We're not valuing each other. We're not even showing what each other's worth is. You know what I'm saying? So if it's just the access is so easy, why do I gotta commit? You know what I'm saying? If you willing to just be my baby mama and the other person willing to be your baby daddy and then not speak to each other, what the fuck am I committing for? I'm getting pussy. I come back. I leave. You know what I'm saying? Still getting the pussy. So I mean,
I go to jail, come back, still, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But I also think that's like it's literally like two different. It's so many different forms of people in this world. It's people that think like you, like this isn't worth it, and then it's people that think like me. That's like there is still people out here that's a hopeless romantic.
And
that's like
impossible.
there is people out here that can be loved, and there is people out here that's worth it and stuff like that. It's just I feel like when it comes to balancing it out, it's so many people that think like you and less people that think like me.
And
Especially
you speaking about people being genuine, you know what I mean? And dating specifically, you don't know if a person really want to go out on a date with you, or if they just want some food, or they just want to
the
take
photo
pictures.
op.
Or, like, you know what I mean? So like, it's tough out here, man. Like, you really gotta vet for real.
Okay, some valid points. So, you know
What you got?
Shit, like my name Ace. So, I said everything. Like, you know, so now for sure, like I'm not even going. We all know why it's like that in New York City, and I just really don't think people want to be like ASAP. People don't want to be in relationships. Like, you know what I mean? We did so many options available to you, like in the city. Like what is like 10 million people in New York City alone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? So,
and different flavors, you know what I mean? Because it's a melting pot out here.
So yeah, it's just a lack of, and then I think the unrealistic expectations, especially in New York City, like, you know what I mean? The dates, you know what I mean? It's super expensive. Y'all motherfuckers is wanting helicopter rides and then a 5-course meal after and shit like that. That shit, like, you know what I mean? Like,
sound like you speaking from experience, my brother.
You did the helicopter shit before?
I'm very resourcul, like, you know what I mean? So I didn't spend I didn't spend all that money. That's what I'm saying.
How much?
I mean,
You about to say how much?
Listen, I know people that know people.
Oh,
That's
okay,
all, like, you know what I mean? Shout out to Groupon, but
that's what's up. Shout out
so
to
yeah, I think
Groupon.
it's just like,
That
you know,
nigga smart.
a lot of people
Be looking for a sponsor, by the way.
a lot of people in the city, like, people don't realize this in other like places of the world. Like, people in the city is really struggling. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the cost of living is up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you even dating multiple from a man, you dating multiple women can become expensive. Like, even if you're doing the bare minimum, you do that shit like 4 times a week, just the bare minimum, that shit can add up. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then none of them shits might not even lead anywhere. So you doing all this dating and this shit not even leading nowhere. Like, you get what I'm saying? So
Get some pussy.
some niggas don't even get that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of niggas don't even get that, to be honest with you. Like, you know what I mean?
Word.
So, I'm sure women, obviously, y'all got your own obstacles y'all face, you know, in the dating market as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I was actually surprised that New York City was ranked the highest. I knew New York City was up there, but the highest.
Yeah.
No. I'm surprised because the way motherfuckers be talking about, the way women be talking about Atlanta, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought Atlanta would have been number, or even Miami, like, you know what I mean? Like, I would have thought they
Why
would.
Miami is good.
Right?
Because
Miami, everybody.
Miami's like hookup culture. Like, you
Yeah,
know, it's like
it's
hookup.
like black people meet outside.
But they talking about
Yeah.
dating. They not talking about relationships.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dating too, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Ain't nobody dating in Miami.
I mean, there's hookup culture. You gotta go on a date and then hook up.
Nah.
Oh, they just hooking up, man. No scripted date. Oh, okay.
Yeah. You ain't going on the beach.
Shout out to Miami.
This shit. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to move out there." Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, this next topic, it says, "Are men the reason why relationships are unsuccessful? And is the male ego fragile?" What's your thoughts on that?
I would say no. Men are not the reason that relationships are unsuccessful because I feel like women play a huge part in it too.
Okay.
But I do believe that the male ego, what was it?
It's fragile.
Fragile?
Fragile. Yeah.
It's fragile, yeah.
Why you think that?
It's just like, why do you have to use it all the time? Like, why does your ego get in the way?
Why you gotta use it all the
many
time?
Things like, it's like if you just take your ego away for a second and replace that with empathy or understanding, or you know what I'm saying? Like, we would probably have better conversations with men. But I feel like men make, and this is me speaking from experience, men have made me feel like I had to put on this like masculine front because your ego is making me feel unsafe right now. So now I have to like be like, relax. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, now here I am.
Yeah, buck up.
And it's like, if your ego wasn't there, and maybe if the conversation from your end had some empathy and understanding, I wouldn't be so like, yeah.
Could have been in your soul.
Those
girl
be the
ever.
guys that think they prettier than women.
Yeah.
I just think most of the time it's just like that ego doesn't allow men to take accountability. It doesn't, like, they're never wrong. Like, it's just like at what point do you release that in order for you to like grow?
You said a key word in there, never wrong. And
I thought you said about accountability.
well, the accountability part too, but the never wrong part. I'm be honest with you. I'm 33 years old. I've never met a woman who thought she was wrong in anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know women think they're ever wrong.
Why you not shaking your head at that way?
Like, yeah.
Right.
I ain't never met a woman that said she was wrong. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
So you admit when you wrong?
I do admit when I'm wrong.
Okay.
They can't hear me, so good I said that.
She said she don't admit when she wrong, guys. Like, y'all admit when y'all wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, y'all gonna say yes.
They gonna-
to
of
that.
course
But I
gonna
mean,
say that.
my thing is, I've had to grow to that point though.
Okay, there
You
we
know
go.
what
All
I'm saying?
right, I
I'm
like
not
that
gonna
honesty.
Just be sitting here acting like I'm this big age, and I'm like, oh no, I've always taken accountability. I've always said I was wrong. Like, no, I've grown to that point.
Excuse me.
You
sure
need to take that?
You don't need to take that?
You need to take that?
I don't want to get nobody caught up in nothing like that. That's what
It's
I'm
my
saying.
best friend.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
the answer?
Nah. I fuck yeah. Ask him if he.
All right, you got to hang up though.
So what's your thoughts? Since you know what I mean, I know you had notes on this. So, you know what I mean. Do you think men are the reason?
You had
why?
notes?
She came prepared. She said,
Okay.
like, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I feel like men. Wait, what was the question?
Are men the reason why most relationships are unsuccessful?
Yes, like the sassy ones, because like you can't even tell like a man that he don't even know how to dress without them feeling some type of way. Like
How you supposed to take that though? Like,
How are
something
you,
else.
How are you saying this?
so because you say you don't know how to dress, I just was like, all right, I'm gonna go wear something else.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That sound like you dating a female.
Okay.
She like, you bum ass nigga. That's why you don't know how to dress. Like, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah, how do
when
you
he feels
approach
some
that?
type of way,
How do you
he a
approach that
sassy nigga, like-
conversation?
Some men don't know how to dress and like they take that offensive when you say that.
But how do you say it though?
Wear something else.
Wow.
I think in your case, you know, I think just in general, it's about how you say it, because a man can never tell a woman she gain weight. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't never take that.
I wouldn't take that offensively.
But
Because
I'm
you're
saying-
too
Yeah, me
big.
neither.
A too
Because you're
big.
too big too. Like,
First of all,
mm-hmm.
you're obese. That's the problem. Okay? Everyone is obese nowadays, and y'all forgot that this is average weight. Thank you very much.
No, for sure. Shout out
But
to
you-
all the slim women.
but you-
There's no body shaming in here. I appreciate the slim women. Like, you
It
know what
was
I mean?
the average weight. It's not the average weight no more.
Yeah, because everyone is obese.
Why you had to bring them like
Yeah, she had to emphasize that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's the devil in
yeah,
her.
okay.
I'm just saying.
Mm.
If everyone wasn't obese,
Mm-hmm.
everyone would know that this is average weight, and you would know that when you go to the doctor
would you
that you were obese.
Okay.
I don't agree with that though, because there's so many families that's like just thick, like
That's an excuse though.
Obese.
not obese, like meaning like even if they go work out or anything, they're just full figured women.
Mm.
That could go to the
Obese.
gym, watch what they eat.
No, even if they do that, like I'm telling you, it's women that go to the gym, watch what they eat. I don't think they're
And
ever gonna
still,
get
yeah.
to that size. It's
Yeah,
just
that-
it's
But they
just
were
that's
at
their-
some point.
You said what?
They
They
were at some point.
like as a kid.
No.
Nah, cause
At any
It
point,
be-
like
it be-
you have to come from something. Everybody isn't just born.
Nah, some people
It
is
be-
born
it
like
be-
that,
Some
so-
people are born big, but most of the people that's born big, they end up growing out of that.
No, they do. But what I'm saying is, for women that's like Southern and have like
That's just how they built.
thick thighs and
Yeah, but that's a product of what they eating. Like, you know what I mean?
not exactly. Some women have that body type, like naturally. They could stop eating all types of stuff. They could stop eating.
Generations after generations. It's just
It's
how it
just
is.
that they
I think once you get to a certain point, you're gonna have to do more than just diet. You're gonna have to exercise and
Yeah, your metabolism starts slowing
yeah.
down. And we always say
But-
about Southern women is like they
But
that corn, they eating that cornbread. Like
Right.
it's the product of the foods that they are.
I was about to say I never
consuming
seen
as well,
I never seen a fat vegan. Like, you know what I mean?
too. No.
I've
Well, I
seen
mean,
fat vegans.
I don't see many. I don't see
I've
many
seen
fat
plenty
vegans.
fat vegans.
Right.
'Cause
Plenty?
that's- Yes, plenty fat vegans. Because I have a lot of
Maybe
vegan friends.
pescatarians. I've seen a couple big pescatarians.
And it was always pescatarian.
Like,
Like
you gotta look at
like
people
my-
that's outside of America.
like my little cousins, they've been vegetarian since they was young, right? And they like toothpicks. As soon as they started eating meat, that's when they started gaining weight.
Mm.
So I mean, I don't see me personally. I don't see a lot of people that are vegan that are bigger. You know what I mean? So diet does play a part, but then it's metabolism. It does have something to do with genetics, though. Because I do see people that be trying and it don't be going
It's just
nowhere.
not going nowhere. And that's what I'm saying. Like I agree that that's possibly like
But
the average weight. But
what is we talking about though?
Yeah, we don't got all the way off
we done
topic.
went over it. Okay.
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Let me go to Freddie over here.
That's not the question.
I don't know how we got there.
Because I don't know why y'all got her started.
Are
I
men
didn't-
responsible for most of the failed
That's the question.
unsuccessful relationships? So
Nah, absolutely not. I think that people enter relationships without really knowing the person that they're entering the relationships with.
Mhm.
And that's important to know who you're getting in a relationship with. Because now what happens is that y'all mentality is not leveled. You understand what I'm saying? Like you're growing at a certain pace, and this person is stuck and don't know how to move forward. You know what I'm saying? And it gets hard when it's like that because they're stuck. The people that's around them, you can't tell them who to hang out with. You know what I'm saying? They can't tell you who to hang out with. They don't want to grow, and then y'all still want to be in a relationship. It's just gonna get worse and worse.
Drew, what's your thoughts on this?
I do think the male ego is fragile. I would say that. I wouldn't hold all men responsible for um the rate of how relationships are working now. But with a fragile ego, I could see why women are having issues with men as far as like committing to a man or trying to like communicate to him because he's always on the defensive. And I've witnessed, some dudes feeling like a woman shouldn't be doing this or a woman shouldn't be doing that or a woman, and they have this demeanor that they heard from maybe their grandfather or maybe another man. Maybe they heard it on a podcast, but not every man should, I don't know how to say it. Like they shouldn't copy what they see or, articulate themselves in the same way of being angry all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it could be both ways, man.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard to just blame one party in a relationship because for every reaction there's action that causes that. You know what I'm saying?
For every
So
reaction, like
yeah, I butchered it, but it still makes sense. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think it comes from both ends.
Right.
Obviously, there is some relationships that men do ruin. Like you do have a good girl at home and you outside cheating or some shit like that. I mean, so that would be an example of that. But the male ego is a fragile one. I would do agree with that. Like, and that's across the board. Like, I say this all the time. Like, men can't take the hurt that they put women through for sure.
For sure.
For sure. Like, because you know how we say that if a woman cheat, we going. You know what I mean?
Yes,
A woman
upset crashing out.
a woman to take a man back and regain that trust, that's strength, man. Like I do believe women are stronger than men in that sense. And we see it all the time what the male ego leads to. Like just because somebody looking at you on the street, you want to fight.
Destruction.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
You want to pull a gun out because you feel embarrassed or something. So like I do believe it's fragile for
to my bitch.
yeah, I think the male ego is fragile, but I think everybody's ego is fragile. Like I watch there's a show I've seen a couple of clips to Pop the Balloon, and you know how they always say, and it's a perfect example because they always say men can't handle rejection. But when you watch these Pop the Balloon shows, you see the women getting rejected, and they also can't handle it. So I think there's a narrative that are pushed out like, oh, men, the ego is fragile or they can't handle rejection. But women are the same way. I do agree that men's ego will lead to more destructive nature.
Yeah.
Women's ego it'll lead to some destructive nature, but I've never seen them. Nah, I have seen them kill it. Yeah. But now in the rate that men do, obviously, like, you know what I mean? So, and I think the relationship aspect, it's easier to just blame men for or failed relationships because, a lot of times when you ask a woman, what happened in your relationship, the default answer is he cheated, he was a narcissist.
Right.
They will never ever tell you what they did to contribute to that relationship because they would rather put all the blame on the man and make it seem like they were perfect and they did nothing wrong. And even a lot of times we hear this narrative that if a woman is not happy, it's because of the man. But when the man is not happy, we just gotta suck it up. We just gotta be miserable. Like, you know what I mean? So I think both parties contribute to the failed relationships.
True.
Yeah. I think
That's very
it's all
true,
about
like, for
your
sure.
experience, though.
That's very true.
What's not true? What part?
Not true.
The whole
I feel like
thing he just said?
everything part of it is true. Part of it is true. But I feel like their egos is based on their insecurities. Like
women got insecurities too.
No,
like.
Absolutely. But secure men, I feel like they could hold more things down than the insecure men.
The problem with women using the insecurity thing, and I'm not saying that some men aren't insecure, right? But it seems like everything that we don't agree with you with now becomes our insecurity. So
Men
like,
do the same thing.
listen,
all the time.
so if you guys are wearing something that we don't find appropriate, we are insecure because we can't handle it. When we
let us go outside with some gray sweatpants, I'm like, oh, nah, why you wearing the gray sweatpants? Like, but we won't look at it as that's an insecurity. We just be like, oh, wow, damn, she just don't want me to wear gray sweatpants. Like, it's the same concept. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I do. You guys don't think that men being more logical, it is a weakness of them from them if they have an issue with ego issues?
Men are more logical.
Yeah, they are.
Really?
Why you sound surprised though? Like,
You don't think so?
I'm not even gonna make this a me and Vashon thing, but I don't think that men think rationally or logical
You
most of
don't?
the times. A man would get upset just because his girl is making more money than him. How is that?
That part.
First of all, just like the woman would say, I don't know what kind of man you've been talking to. 'Cause every time we bring it to the women, I don't know what kind of women you talk. I don't know what kind of man you've been talking to. Like, you know what I
He
mean?
probably in jail.
And that has a lot to do with his ego.
Damn, like there's a
Damn.
lot of jail talk on this motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo,
I swear I ain't seen nobody talk about no jail stuff on the whole time when I was looking at the content. Like,
it was, it's just,
jail,
Nah,
jail,
you got
jail,
it's a
jail.
coincidence.
Nah.
is that touching the nerve or something? You good?
A little.
A little bit?
Oh, just a little bit.
You need somebody freed?
Free my boy to his backwards, man. Like, you know what I'm saying, like, but let me get to this. Let me get to this
Nah,
next.
you
topic,
a young
like, you know what I'm
nigga.
saying? Like, yeah, that's what they say.
That's
Like,
what they
yo,
True.
what priorities are required to live in a fulfilling lifestyle, and what are some hardships along the way? What's your thoughts on this?
You're probably wait, what? Say it again.
What are some priorities? What priorities are required to live in a fulfilling lifestyle?
Priorities that are required to live a fulfilling lifestyle. It really depends on what
The person.
you consider fulfilling, like what
Yeah.
you consider fulfilling. But some of those priorities would be one, consistency, like being consistent in like anything that you want. Like if you
Mhm.
want something, you have to like go get it, right? So if you want a fulfilling lifestyle, what is fulfilling to you? Like what makes you happy? Like I feel like
Speak for
money. I feel
yourself.
like money is definitely like a priority to me. I don't care if I'm like living the most basic life. I still need money. Unless I'm about to go, even if I go in the woods, I feel like
You need your
I
money.
feel like I need some form of money. Like
Money ain't gonna help you in the woods. Though. You need to survive. That's
I mean, like
you gonna throw some money at the bear? Like,
no, if you,
making a rain on a
no,
nigga.
say
Like,
you
yo.
decide that
Go
you want to go
away.
live in the woods and you want to do a startup, you gotta spend some money for your startup stuff. Like
startup for
your sleeping
what?
bag, your little foods and
food.
stuff. So whatever you gonna get
Yo,
started.
you said women are logical?
That's
We
actually
are.
makes sense.
No,
though.
seriously though, like you.
You got money and you went to the woods? Is a logical
what
thing?
I'm saying is, it don't matter how small of a thing
Yeah.
Money
that
can
you
help.
want
Money can
in
help.
life.
In the
Because of the
woods?
world,
Yes,
because of
money
the
can
world
help.
that we live in,
Mhm.
money is very important. Like that's a
Important, yeah.
priority. Like, and I'm not saying it like, oh, money is, oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? If I want to live in the woods, then okay, cool. But if I'm sitting here in New York and I said I want to live, a beautiful, happy life in a mansion in Brooklyn or something like that, like where am I gonna get that from? Where am I gonna get that from? My looks? No, I gotta work hard. I gotta be determined. I
get
gotta
it
be
with your looks.
consistent. Huh?
You might could get it with your looks.
I mean, that's a different mentality, though.
Mm.
That's a way different mentality.
This
So
is-
what's the
this is
fulfilling
logic,
lifestyle for you, personally?
A fulfilling lifestyle is me being able to take care of myself and my children and not have to ask anybody for
Mhm.
anything. Yeah, that's the main one right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, what's your thoughts on this?
I agree. I just want to like be good enough that I don't have to worry about money. Like,
How do you get there?
oh, I'm trying.
With her
I don't
looks,
know.
she said.
I hope it's by my looks. That'd be amazing.
I mean, like with businesses, with me being the entrepreneur that I am, that's why I'm using words like consistency and determination because I'm putting myself out there.
Right.
I'm putting in the work. I don't do a 9 to 5. I've been an
Right.
entrepreneur for the last 4 years,
Mm.
and my businesses is the reason why my kids eat,
Mm.
why they good for school, why there's food in my fridge. All of that is coming from me working hard.
Shout out to you.
What's your thoughts
So
on this?
having your money right.
It's important.
It's
I'm
definitely a priority.
gonna get to that, but what's your thoughts on
Having
that?
your money right is definitely a priority. So I agree with Q. For me personally, having patience. I'm a person, I'm a Cancer, so like I need everything to fall in line.
You a what?
Cancer.
Okay.
Okay. So I need everything to fall in line, like from beginning to end. So having patience definitely do help because I'm very much of a we got to get it done, and we got perfectionists, but we got to get it done like ASAP. So that's definitely gonna help me. That's one of
Because
my top priorities for sure.
because you're a Cancer.
Because I'm me.
Oh, okay.
Just because I'm me. Bless
Mhm.
you.
Okay, Ace,
Interesting.
what's your thoughts on this?
I'm gonna need to know what the question was again.
I said, what priorities are required to live in a fulfilling lifestyle?
Qualities?
What priorities are required
Oh,
to
priorities.
live?
I would say determination is a priority. Obviously you're gonna need money. Drive. I would say in these times you need a partner. You know what I mean? Like somebody that's gonna help you and motivate you and pick up the slack where you lacking. Um, if the goal is generational wealth, I think that's what's needed. Yeah, I think that's what I would say is a priority.
Drew, what's your thoughts?
I know we all need money, but money ain't shit if you ain't living. So I think we need to, think about our health. A lot of us avoid even going to the doctor. I say this all the time, like even as a man, and I know other dudes, I would say this all the time that niggas care about they more than they care about their heart. You get what I'm saying? So I think our health is very important. We need to be more alert. RP Fat Man Scoop, like I heard he had like something wrong with his heart as well. So I mean, I think health is like the most important. Your mentality has to change. You have to be dedicated, hardworking, family oriented. Like all these things help you live. A lot of people live longer with family around them. Being lonely, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's what it is.
For
Yeah, I
sure.
think
For sure.
I was going to say the same thing. I think for me personally, I think a fulfilling lifestyle, as I get older, I got out of that materialism, that
Yeah.
capitalistic mindset. I know money is important, but when you surround your whole personality or your whole identity around just working, get into the bag, like to me, a family is way more important. A healthy family, a healthy partner, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like mental health, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm not trying to make money, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to be one of them fathers that's working like 90 hours a week, barely seeing my kids. My kids need me, like, you know what I mean? So I want to make sure
For
I'm
sure.
around with my partner, my kids. I want to be able to support them, but money is like, I don't need to live in a fucking mansion.
Yeah.
I don't need a fucking 100 fucking acres. Like, you know what I mean? I'm realizing as I get older, like some things are more important than just money. Like everything just
for
can't
sure.
be money based. And I've seen a lot of people, we look at celebrities, like committing suicide. Like, you know what I'm saying? They have more money, more problems. And I think sometimes we just single-minded. We just see money and think that's going to solve all our problems. And
Oh, yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's probably just going to make shit even more complicated, more worse. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so, I think me living an abundant lifestyle as far as like I'm able to sustain myself and my family, but I really don't need to be making millions of dollars. I'm satisfied with, my family being able to pass down some generational wealth, being able to own a house so my family can live comfortably, but that's just me personally. And I think sometimes we just get caught up in just the materialism, or I need to have a Lamborghini and this mansion in order for me to feel like I made it or I'm successful in life. Like, you know what I mean? If I don't have that, because I'm looking on social media,
For
there's
sure.
some reason I think in my head I internalized that as I failed in life, or I'm not being as productive, or I'm not doing this, and that's just simply not true. Like, you know what I mean?
That's
So
what social media does.
listen, let me hit that like button. Like, you know what I mean? Like, subscribe. Y'all not already subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Cop the merch, dailyrapupcrew.co. This next topic, when talking to multiple dating options, what's something any of them can do that would disqualify them?
I'm in a relationship.
Okay, when you was dating, right?
Like,
Can you talk on that or no?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, when you were dating, what was something that would disqualify the potential candidates?
Inconsistency.
Okay. Like them not like, so what is the balance between the consistency and then too much consistency and then the inconsistency? Like, is there a balance there?
There's always a balance.
I like my man to be obsessed, so yeah, too much consistency.
Too much consistency?
Like, I need you to be like yeah, like
You gonna get annoyed.
You for sure
no,
gonna
I'm
get
gonna get
not.
annoyed,
I'm
bro.
not. I'm not. Nope.
Yo,
I am
women
not.
always say this, but
If I like you and
Mm.
I want you,
Mhm.
too much consistency is enough.
You
Like
got-
it's what I need. But if I don't really like you and you're like,
I think that's the problem with relationships nowadays, though. Like, we focus so much on just like spending so much time with each other or giving. We don't have no time to breathe, no space. So
I mean,
once
that's
it's
not
like
what I'm
one
saying.
interruption in a relationship, or where I actually, I needed some space, then the whole relationship is like fumbling after that, because
You don't do
we
the same
all-
things you used to do. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
You getting criticized for something. I just need a break. Or that's why I think it's healthy when you do have friendships or step outside. Not saying step outside and do something you're not supposed to, but you need breaks and you need
Away from your
breathers.
relationship.
Listen,
I
COVID.
mean,
Smothering shit don't
but
work.
when
You
I
mean
say
like applying
consistency,
pressure?
I'm an entrepreneur. I don't got time to
Right.
be sitting around no man or in his face all day. I'm telling you, like we
Listen.
barely see each other.
COVID
But
proof.
consistency is like, okay,
Sure.
we're not around each other. We probably haven't seen each other in like 2 days. Are you texting me? Are you calling me to see if I'm okay? Because I'm doing that for you.
Right.
Like, you know what
I
I'm
didn't see
saying?
you in
Like
2
that type of
days?
reciprocation.
Oh, COVID proof that women do not want their man up on them all the time, bro. Because how many relationships failed throughout COVID?
yeah, there's a lot of divorces happening. This whole obsessed thing, I promise you, is cap. Like, you know
It's
what I'm saying?
cap.
Because
You
and
always
y'all
gotta
can say
find
y'all
that
can sit
middle.
here and say that's not me. I don't know what kind of women y'all but y'all be chasing after the niggas that don't show you. Matter of fact, we had Chinese kitty. We had I just seen Tyler talk about I like a nigga that don't show me no attention. Y'all like those men, like, you know, the men that's showing y'all attention. Not all women, you know what I mean? Because, you know, but women, some women be y'all don't want that
It's all of them,
obsession.
bro.
It
It's
is,
all-
but you know,
it's
motherfuckers
all
gonna act
of
like it
them,
ain't me. Like,
We
you know
about
what
to
I mean?
get you some a seat over here.
You want to come sit on the couch right here, bro? Yeah, so it sounds good. Just like women will say they want the Russell Wilson, but then be always chasing the futures. Like, it sounds good, but in reality, we all seen it on our day-to-day lives. The type of men y'all go after, the type of men y'all chase, the type of men y'all obsess over. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so.
But I think it's like to each his own. Like, what do you consider obsessed? Like, what do you consider consistent?
Obsessed only got one
Like,
definition.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I know it only has one definition, right? In the dictionary, but like,
Right.
what do you consider someone being obsessed with you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean that you in my face all day, you da-da-da-da, but
But he
like,
not obsessed.
all right,
You
whatever.
said women are more logical?
Just forget it.
She's talking about applying pressure, period. Like, if you my
Aight.
man,
That's
or
not
if you
obsessed.
my
That's not
potential
obsessive, though. That's just applying pressure. Like,
Yeah.
man. Okay.
I would
applying pressure.
assume that you obsessive over him then too, right? Or you just wanted to be one-sided, right?
I mean, we're both like that with each other.
Oh, so you got both. Okay, as long as it's both, because I
It's
know
not
what I
like it's
one-sided.
one-sided,
The man
side,
should. I think the
whatever,
man
like-
should be more in love
The-
with the woman than the woman. Like,
Or how
you know what
I
about-
mean, cool, but like,
It's all-
it's balanced though.
What she said?
absolutely.
The man should be in love
He
more
has
than a
to be,
woman.
for it to work. Because if the girl is too obsessive, then niggas is like,
Something wrong.
You gotta elaborate. We don't know what you. Let us know.
what do you mean? I just said it.
You just
He
said.
said,
Yeah.
Like, you know, if a female likes the man too much,
Right.
and they're not like on that type of time, then it's like, girl, back up.
All right,
It's like,
so but
wait
if a man likes a woman too much and she not on that type of time, then what?
it works.
It works?
Yes.
Why would that work?
Because I don't know. I always see it work.
It depends on the man though. Like, if he's willing to,
Yeah.
for you to show that, like, oh, she don't really like me, I'ma still be on her. Like, that's on him.
Simp.
I feel like some guys be like real like fixated once they already in a relationship. It's just like, all right, I'm here. So they just be like, all right, I'm gonna stick it out.
Yeah, because they had to do so much work to get this. Like, now that I'm here, like, I ain't got no more energy to do nothing else. Like,
And that's why I said it gotta balance out, but okay.
oh, now you want balance?
I've been said
Nah,
that.
you wanted obsession. That's what you wanted.
Said that.
You wanted obsession.
You heard what Mariah Carey said when Eminem was obsessive. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
Yeah, you always gotta find that sweet spot, no matter what it is with a woman. Like, it can't be too much of this, and it can't be too little. It gotta be right here, like, for it to work.
So, I mean, just to get back to the question, and I'm gonna ask you this: what are some things that would disqualify men if you're dating multiple men? What would disqualify them?
Just lying and being too aggressive. Like I said, it's
Yeah,
okay to
aggressive.
like apply pressure, but
Mhm.
don't be what you doing me to death. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I do
So-
know. I do got
What
a
you
friend
doing
that do.
today, tomorrow?
That nigga, well, what you doing to death you? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Don't-
What you doing now? I didn't say it had now on it.
Why you waiting till you
Yeah.
doing that? Just happened.
I just met you.
It's crazy.
Okay, so
But that's one of my biggest things, yeah.
okay. That's actually valid. What about you? What are some things that are disqualified? I know you know, whatever. But when
For
you
me?
was
Like for social media, like if you post a girl, it's over. It's clipped.
what you mean posted like on her story?
Like his friend?
Like you
a
out.
celebrity?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, not like that. Like you out and you're like with a female, or like you posting a female, like heart eyes, anything to that extent. Where's this love coming from? Why is that there? That's a dub. You fishing on my page, that's a dub. Wherever the camera's
What you
at.
mean? Watching your story?
No, fishing on my page, like if you
Going
like,
via
say-
comments and seeing.
no, like say like we just started following each other and then like out of nowhere, like we started off with 6 mutual friends and out of nowhere we got like 16 mutual friends.
What the fuck?
Are you crazy?
You said, who's shorty right here? Follow, like,
Yeah, like
Let me-
I'm gonna post my friends because my friends is cute. So like if they definitely looking cute in the picture, I'm gonna be like, yeah.
Let me put you in a hypothetical situation. Let's say you were dating a guy, like y'all was dating or whatever the case is. Let's say he asked you to go out to maybe bowling, right? And you didn't reply back to him, right? Or you didn't give him a decisive answer.
Uh-huh.
And then later that day, you find out that you see on his stories that he went with another woman bowling. Would you feel some type of way about that?
Hell yeah, are you crazy? You was never supposed to post that. You asked me first.
But you didn't. It
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I still wanted to go.
What? So why you ain't say nothing then?
I might have been busy. It might have been something that came up. I might not have been able to go, but that don't mean I don't want to go. And then you posting with somebody else.
You said
Now-
women are more logical?
How is that not logical?
I agree with her. I ain't
You
gonna lie.
agree? Oh, that's
Because that's like-
that's interesting that you.
I agree with her.
That's fair.
Exactly. Don't post it. If you're gonna post it, post
Yeah,
it with
what
close
you
friends.
posted it for? Yeah.
Unless you're trying to antagonize me, like you want me to be mad.
That's what it's coming.
You want me to
off
be
as.
calling your phone like a crazy girlfriend, like
That's
while
what
you're
I'm
out with
saying.
that
And
bitch?
you
Damn,
calling a
exactly
person?
what it
I
He
ain't gonna-
co-signing like, yo. Wait, hold on. Ace co-signing like a motherfucker. Like, is there anything you want to, is there any experience you had that's similar to this, or?
I mean, it sounds a little familiar.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
okay.
But if that was to happen, if I did experience that,
Mhm.
I think I would feel the same way. Yes.
Exactly.
And-
I wouldn't be calling the phone like no crazy person, though, but
Nigga just pop up out of nowhere like,
Or do the pop up.
oh, what's up?
But next time she texts me, it would say this subscriber has.
Wow, the
See?
block, that's crazy. But isn't that the whole purpose of
After
dating
one
multiple
date
people?
miss, you gonna block her?
Bro, I'm saying in that situation, if she hit me up to go somewhere and then I see her out the
Oh,
same
yeah,
place
yeah.
with somebody,
Yeah,
all
you
right,
dub.
go ahead.
You a dub after
I'm cool.
that.
I'm cool.
But if y'all are dating, right?
Yeah,
So that
y'all
means
not
y'all
committed.
you're not committed.
Wait.
Right, it's no
What you mean by
commitment.
dating? Because
Dating, y'all-
like some people just think like dating is like talking, like that talking stage.
Yeah.
Dating might be
not like a relationship.
Yeah,
not
dating-
living together, but we still trying to figure it out. Like
Living together.
Yeah, living
That's
together.
a
Y'all not
point.
dating.
That's a whole situation.
Look,
Y'all shacked up.
That be your problem right there. I ain't gonna
People
hold
be
you.
going through stuff
No.
like that. It be those type of situations like, oh,
Dating is
we're dating,
dating.
but y'all live together. Oh, we have different
How?
rooms. Huh?
Wow.
Dating. Let's
No,
in the context of this conversation.
Oh, I sleep
dating
on the couch.
Dating is talking to somebody to see if they're worthy of being in a
And
relationship with.
relationships, right?
That means y'all going out on dates.
Yeah, so if we a couple dates in, 3 or more,
Yeah.
and I can't make it to that one date and you post a girl, are you crazy?
Sound like you doing the fishing you don't want him to be doing.
How is that fishing?
That ain't fishing. It's right there in the story. No?
I need you
man.
to like the definition that you thinking of fishing.
But
is
y'all
not
don't think that's
definition.
also like a little controlling if you're not in a relationship?
Mm-mm.
Control-
Yeah, it is.
All right, but how you gonna
Wait,
make your
wait.
mark if
Time out,
you're
time out,
not like, yo,
How-
like what you
how-
doing? Like,
How am I controlling her? If
You're not really controlling.
Exactly,
her.
so what
You're
are you
trying
saying?
to control the situation because
I'm gonna always control the situation.
Now you making them feel bad.
Like, what
you making them feel bad for you not replying back to
they
them. Like, you know what I'm
message
saying?
Like, what?
No,
All right, but
So now I gotta sit around all day twiddling my
That's kinda
thumbs because you ain't
delusional.
like
exactly. Sit at home and
Like-
be bored just like me.
Oh no, you the Lulu girl.
They would rather the person lie to them
Yeah.
and not tell them.
Hold
I
on,
would dead
wait,
ass
hold
rather
on,
be lied
hold
to.
on. One mic.
I have
Lie to
no
me.
I had no problem with you going on your
Spare
date.
my feelings.
But you posting it, knowing I'm gonna see it. That
That's a
means
slap in the face.
that means you posted it for me to see. Then like,
You
So,
wanted me
so
to
you got
see
enough
that.
time to watch their
Definitely.
stories, but you don't got enough time to reply back to them. is what I'm saying.
Right.
first of all, and
Yo, great point. I
And
like
this-
how you did
Yeah,
that.
and
like
this-
it's just not.
you're
making no
telling
sense.
the story wrong in this situation.
Oh,
In
this
this
is a real,
situation-
is this a real story? I wasn't aware.
I told you
Like,
I had a similar experience.
Oh, okay.
So since you want to do this,
I don't know what he's talking about.
In the situation,
Mm-hmm.
I responded. I forgot what the fuck I said. Oh no.
Nigga wrote K.
All right, so this what happened. This what happened. She said, "Do you want to go bowling?" I said, "Oh, you taking me out?" Then she didn't respond, and then later on, I see her go bowling with somebody else.
That sounded a little sassy. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All right. It could be sassy, but where she at? Like, okay.
Ew. So you said, "Are you taking me out?"
Yeah.
Right? Like, Mina, is she gonna pay to take you both?
Yeah, I thought she
I'm
was
not mad
planning
at
a
that.
date.
I'm not
Wait,
mad
so
at
how
that.
many dates in were y'all in at this point?
That would have been the third outing. So we went out twice.
And you paid for the first two?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Well, regardless if he paid for it or not, she invited him out, so she should be willing to pay.
Yeah.
That is
That logic only works
Not
online in the
necessarily.
comment section. Like nobody really believes
Not
that in real
necessarily.
life, like.
How you invite somebody
doesn't
somewhere?
believe that?
How you invite somebody somewhere and expect them to pay for you? What the fuck?
I mean,
I
not
mean, it
pay for
doesn't-
me, but like I'm saying, like you saying you never been invited somewhere and you didn't know that you had to pay.
No, but I like his response.
If Drew tell me, yo, let's go to the bar, I know I'm paying for my drink. If Eli tell me, let's go,
Exactly.
I
She
know.
said, "Let's go bowling." She
But
probably
if
was
we're
probably gonna pay for the drink.
dating, it's
Are you
about
taking me out?
It's about reciprocation. If I took you out 2 times,
Great.
it should be no reason that you can't take me out.
That's true.
See, but what the logic here is
Uh-huh.
when women say there's not quality men or men are sassy, they will
Yeah.
say men want women to pay for the dates. They gonna qualify that as sassy. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I
Like,
guess
no.
I got to bring it back. Man. I gotta bring it
niggas
back.
to change it to the 2-4. Like,
I got
Yo, let us know in the comments if that scenario
Yeah.
they wrong.
Is
if
that
they
sassy?
right. Like,
Am I
you know what
wrong?
mean? Like,
Let me know.
They gonna say he's sassy. Bro.
they for sure gonna say he's sassy. Like, you know what I mean?
Don't ask them that.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess he explained it though, so I don't think so.
And so she didn't reply back to you after you said that, and then she went out with somebody else.
Did you reply to the story?
No, I'm not doing none of that, bro. Like you made your choice, I made mine. That's
I'd
it.
reply to the story.
But that's emotional.
I said the
I'm not emotional.
Hateful thing I could have thought about my.
Damn, all of that.
God damn, man. You really
The devil.
you really embodying this devil
Season.
shit, bro.
Crazy. I'm a Libra.
She the devil.
Let me get to this next topic, right? What are traditional roles from the opposite sex that you believe is easy?
I think it's easy for guys to make money.
Yeah.
I think it's easy.
No,
for
but
guys
it's for you to
take
do.
out the garbage. Like,
What he said, the opposite
That's
sex.
traditional.
Yeah, so that you can do.
The garbage.
Easy enough that you can do.
Yeah, what's
Why
a
is it
traditional
so
gender
hard?
role? Like,
Yeah, that
To
you
take the
can do.
garbage out?
That
hold on, hold on,
that I
one
can
mic,
do.
y'all, one mic, yeah.
Yeah,
That
a
the
man
man
does.
is supposed to do.
Mm.
Yeah, I ain't.
Let's make this a little bit easier. What do you think are traditional gender roles for men?
Making
Making
money. You know, bringing it home.
That's
Giving
two
it to
separate
me.
things.
It is.
Nigga might make a stop.
You could make that money, but you might not take it home. But you gotta, make the money.
There's some bum
bring
ass
it
niggas
home.
that do that.
Be there for the kids. When it comes down to like if I'm yelling too much, it's like, listen to your mama.
Wait, what?
Listen to your mama.
Tell the kids.
Wait.
To,
Oh,
She saying, yeah,
okay,
they got
I
kids.
I got.
Like,
Oh, you got kids.
yelling all day.
So discipline.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
That's it?
I like,
And which
the cooking.
which one? Oh, cooking is a male role too?
Yeah.
Okay. And which one of those you think is easy?
All of them.
Oh, all of them is easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I execute all of those every day.
Okay. You say listen to your mama.
Yeah, I tell my kids to listen to their mama.
It worked?
Sometimes.
What's your thoughts on this? Like,
I was saying like taking out the garbage.
Ugh, I hate it.
Like that should be easy. Guys forget. Like
Ugh.
That's a man role, or
Yes.
I feel like
Take
that
out
should
the
be-
trash.
I feel like that's a traditional male role.
You're
Yes.
supposed to like
Take
offer
out
it.
the
You
garbage.
want me to take this garbage out?
Yeah. I have 3
Thank
boys. I'm
you.
teaching them right now. Grab that garbage.
Grab the garbage.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
if you have a daughter, you wouldn't let her take out the garbage?
She can. I'm not saying that
She go to the
there's
incinerator.
anything wrong with women taking out the garbage. I just feel like
That's a man.
it's a man's
Yeah.
job. That's
Yeah.
a man's role. Have I taken out garbage?
Absolutely.
Yes. But it's just like I would rather my man do it.
Okay.
And my sons, I'm teaching them that too. Do I also teach them how to do the dishes? Yes.
Absolutely.
But maybe wifey should be doing the dishes some days too. I think I'm like, I don't know. I'm into both roles. Like,
Wifey should be
I don't know if
doing
I'm that traditional guy.
Okay, so wifey should be doing the dishes some days. I mean, you should be taking out the trash some days.
Yes, but if y'all asked me like the question you asked, I
Mm-hmm.
think that the man should be taking out the garbage. But do I have a problem doing so? No.
you know what I like from both of y'all? Both of y'all y'all didn't try to. Both of y'all relinquished 2 of y'all quote unquote gender roles off to the man. Like, you know what I'm saying? You said the cooking and cleaning. Yeah, you can do that. Now you talking about the washing the dishes. Y'all slowly taking y'all gender roles and pushing it on to the man and be like, y'all can do that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then when it gets to y'all gender roles, like, we just gotta be there. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What do you guys have left? Like, what is something that's gonna be just determined for you guys?
Well, y'all can't bear children.
that's not a gender role. That's just a biological, like, you know. What
It's a gender role.
Without my nut, you won't be able to be pregnant. So I mean, I did my job
I
too.
agree with that. That's
But-
a 2-person.
But the woman forms the seed to grow.
No. The seed is already formed. I'd put it in you, and then it grows. Like,
Yeah, but who's carrying the seed? Who's watering the seed? Like
it don't
the
need-
mama.
But that's not. I don't think that's a gender role. That's just biological differences. Like, it'll be,
Right.
like,
So because a woman has children, she's exempt from everything else.
No, I take.
I
care
never
of
said
the
exempt.
home.
Yeah, that's what I
Women
mean.
is supposed
Like,
to take care of the home.
for sure. Like you said, the dishes, cleaning up,
Mhm.
making sure the laundry is done. All of those things are traditional women
roles,
for
yeah.
sure. For sure.
And do
Who
y'all
checks the homework then?
Shit,
I
yeah.
check the homework, but I see like in 2024, nothing is traditional. Like things are so
At
different.
all, yeah.
Like me and my kid's father, we co-parent. So some days he checked the homework, some days I check the homework, some days they're at his house, some days they're at my house. Like
Okay.
it's different.
Well, I'm happy you guys working it out. It sounds like a healthy
Yeah, it's definitely
co-parenting.
healthy. It's definitely
Wait.
healthy.
God bless.
Yeah, shout out
It
to that.
is. I seen it. It is.
You
I
said
only
you-
seen like one.
you said you
black
in a
family
relationship,
that was
right?
healthy.
Yeah.
But not with your kids. Right?
Like not on TV.
No, my kid's father, he keep his kids. and-
Oh,
yeah.
oh, okay. He over here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
But that's not your man.
That's not
No.
your. Oh, okay. Okay.
We just healthy parents. That's it.
That's what's up.
Okay,
Yeah,
shout
man.
out to that. Like, I mean,
We
on
on
it.
fire.
what's your
January
thoughts?
1st, I'm a
Aquarius.
Capricorn.
Oh, Capricorn. And what's his sign?
Y'all can ask
my
this
baby
stuff.
Yeah,
father-
we can ask this
Well,
later. Like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas about to
Yeah.
ask
Ask
us.
us
Oh, yeah.
question.
Like,
What's the
what's your
question,
thoughts?
So what's your DNA background?
What's your what are some traditional gender roles from the opposite
Traditional?
sex that you feel like is easy?
Being a father.
You think being a
What?
father is easy?
Being a father should be easy. I'm a mother and I do it every day.
Right.
You do
Nobody
what?
gotta tell me
Take
The
care of my
disrespect
kids.
is
how to
outrageous.
do it.
No,
It's
no.
not all right. Easy. All right. Being a mother is not easy, but it's getting
Being
done.
a father is not easy.
You said
Being a father's
you
not
said
easy
you said
either.
being a father is easy. You do it every day. That's what you said.
I said being a father is easy. I'm a mother and I do it every day.
So being a mother and father is the same thing.
Yes,
Okay.
it's the same. I feel like.
And you think being a parent is easy?
No.
Absolutely
I
not.
said that. I said being a parent is not easy
Oh, okay.
So why is it easy for the father?
because they don't gotta do. They supposed to do much, but they really. Nowadays, all we expect them is to like show up and do what you need to do. Because most of the times, the woman is taking care of everything in the
Right.
household.
Show up, bring me some
can't-
money.
But
can't
you
say that.
taking
get
care
the
of the,
kids.
you taking
Escape.
care of in the household has nothing to do with parenting.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? Me being a father, I'm motivating them, I'm speaking to them, I'm getting them
What's so hard
stronger,
about that?
wiser. Huh?
What's so hard about that?
Right.
Well, what do you mean? What's so hard about
What's
you?
so hard
you-
about motivating your
you're-
Motivating your own
You're
children.
developing minds. You are in control on how this person outcome will be. most likely. That's why they say that, people that were raised with fathers around are more successful.
Yeah.
That plays a factor in
But
it.
raising a kid is not easy, especially with the outside factors. You gotta deal with social media now. You gotta deal with their friends, the people on the street that they come into contact with. It's not easy raising a child, like motivating them.
Especially a
All right.
boy.
It's not easy. Being a parent is not easy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna stop fronting. Being a parent is not easy at all. But I feel like picking up the father role should be easy. I'm sorry.
But why you?
If you had a baby, you should be able to pick it up because that's your seed. It's easy.
Yes, of course.
It was
why
easy
is
to.
that
It was easy for you to fuck.
But I think it's
what are you
important
talking about?
too for us all to like think about who we chose to be our kid's father.
That's true.
So like, do you know this person's background? Is this a 2-parent household that he had? What does his education look like? Like, it's so many factors. Like, cause where me and my baby father is right now, we got here like not snap at a finger. You know what I'm saying? Like, we both had to grow in order to be in this co-parent place where it's healthy.
Yeah, and
So
I think
being
you
a
letting
father-
men off the hook by saying he just got to show up, and like a father should be doing a lot more than just showing up. You know what I mean?
Sure.
No, you
the roles
absolutely
should
right.
be equal, and like you said, it's the same role basically. You know what I'm saying? But he got.
We
I
should
guess,
both
like-
be at the doctor's appointments. We should
Yeah.
both be at parent teacher conference. We should both be.
I mean,
I think the father might take on more of a disciplinary role, like that works better in my
For sure.
experience. You know what I mean, but I think the roles should be the same.
should
Like
keep
he
it
should be checking
equal.
homework, he should be cooking, he should be taking them to
Yep.
school. Like everything you doing, he should be doing.
Yeah, only thing that they can't do is breastfeed. Like,
What? That's it,
That's
like,
the
yeah.
only thing. Yo, let me ask the fellas, Jew, what's your thoughts on this?
Oh man, y'all ladies got it easy because y'all don't want to do shit no more. Y'all want to cook. Y'all want to clean. Y'all don't want to talk. Y'all don't want to fuck. Y'all don't want.
All I do is.
I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck y'all want to do now. You get what I'm saying? Because
man.
when y'all do have a good man at home, a lot of these niggas be out here
What's a good man?
complaining.
yeah, can you please
What's a
clarify?
good
A
man?
good man is the one that communicates, one that makes you feel safe, one that provides, one that listens to you mentally, physically, spiritually, and is willing to help you in every way.
Mhm.
Cook also, help
What do you
you out in
consider
other ways.
provide?
Huh?
What do you consider provide?
Whatever we can
Lightening
afford.
your load.
Yeah, whatever I could afford that's affordable for us to have a sustainable life. I don't even say that a man should pay all the bills because we live in America where that's just not,
We live in New York.
realistic. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm not no NBA player. You're not gonna get an NBA player money or resources. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what you think, then you just looking for the wrong niggas. The reason why, is going to be in 10 more years, women are going to be, all of them going to be single.
I mean, I think that's to each his own because it is guys out here that pay women bills like it's
And
nothing
do everything.
and do everything
For
to
sure.
women like it's nothing. They have the means to
You know-
do that. So
You
I
know,
think it's
what the
just to
problem
each his
is with
own.
that I find, even if a man could pay all of it, I don't think my partner should allow that to happen. And
Yeah.
she should communicate. We should have a conversation with what's acceptable for her to put in.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? So
I agree.
I don't think that, because women are now making a lot of money, and we talk about our education, and we talk about this bag, and if I'm spending all my money, I'm working hard, and then you just got the easy way out. How is that fair to our partnership? How am I supposed to be feeling
That's
comfortable?
not a
with you?
partnership.
Yeah.
That's when
Yeah.
infidelity start happening because it's like, all right, well, you ain't making no money, so
No, I'm at work
You
all
can't
day,
talk
and
shit.
I don't got
I
time
must
for
be
you,
out.
so you gonna get fucked by Tommy.
Yo.
the gardener.
Shit.
God.
Yo, Tom Brady wife cheated on him. This is Tom Brady. Like, you know what I'm saying? With the pool nigga. Like, this is a nigga who contract is $100 million and better, and his wife cheated on him. Like, so this whole thing, you making money, that don't mean your woman gonna be any more loyal, any less loyal. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, and vice versa with the men situation. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, so you say like making money
money-
and time is important.
I mean, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
like, if the thing is with generational wealth, maybe even if a man could support, like, you know what I mean, the financial, let's say he has an abundance of wealth, which statistically just isn't a thing. Like, you get what I'm saying? Those men are in a very small percentage of overall men. Like, you get what I'm saying? Those men, a lot of women not going to qualify for those men. We just keeping it a buck. Like, you get what I'm saying? Because they have the bulk of the options. They could choose you, and y'all can keep living.
And they do.
Y'all can keep living this fantasy. One day, a nigga's gonna pay my bills. Like, y'all can keep living that delusion, but it's more realistic to find somebody that's, you know, you're equally yoked with, like women always say, and build with them. Make sure you're in a happy, successful relationship. Nobody's being toxic to each other, and build your family and community that way. And stop trying to look for somebody just to come and have so much money he could pay for the chef, pay for the nanny, pay for this, that, so you can just do nothing. Like, you get what I'm saying? And like, it's just, you know, we just got to be realistic. And I think a lot of people are unrealistic sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? And I don't even think men are saying 50-50. I know we had that conversation a lot. But the thing is, if you as a woman are willingly deciding that you want to work out of your own free will because you feel like, you know, I want to depend on a man's money, then yes, I do feel like some of that money should go into a savings account. Some of that should go into some investments. Like, you know what I mean? Help loosen my load, because if I am footing the bill and we notice the job industry is so volatile, like niggas is losing their job left, right, getting laid off. Like, I want to be able to, like, all right, at least my shorty got something until I can get myself back on. You know what I mean? It's just not that easy. Like, motherfuckers is not just getting back on their feet like, oh, like it's nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So this economy is causing us to have to reevaluate how we have these dynamics with one another. And, you know, like I said, we can have this conversation. We talked about AI and we talked about the future. When motherfuckers don't have jobs because AI and robots is replacing the workforce, you know, what is relationships going to look like then when everybody just is surviving off a universal basic income, if that's even a thing? Like, you get what I'm saying? Because of the AI, right now is the migrants is taking the jobs. Once they figure out how to figure out all this autonomous shit, then the migrants is going to get out, and then like it's just robots doing everybody's job now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, we got to figure out ways to be able to sustain our family, sustain ourselves, and still be happy in that process.
I might have to get me a robot woman. I ain't gonna hold
this nigga cyborg, and then getting the cyborg pussy. Like,
I mean, the smartest thing for anybody to do is to invest into these AI stuff, for real.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I mean, like,
that's what I've been looking into.
Hey, listen, man. Anyway, man, we do got to get up out of here. Again, let them know where they can follow you at.
Yummy Champagne and Milani Ray's events.
Okay.
At the Sounds of Keontae, at QS Events, at Elevator Sounds. My name is Keontae.
I'm a bag of fun. The hairtologist _
Yo, real quick, y'all choosing the bear or the man if y'all in the woods?
The what?
You choosing the bear or you choosing the man?
What?
If you stuck in the woods,
I'm choosing the man.
Choosing the man?
Yeah, he gonna save me.
What you choosing?
You said choosing the bear?
Yeah, you stuck in the woods. Would you prefer to be there with a bear or a man?
A man.
Okay, all right. There is some logic here.
Logical,
okay, all right. Okay.
Bro, y'all don't understand. Motherfuckers really buzzing. Women really be here talking about they're gonna pick the bear. Like, I don't get it. But anyway,
I got another question for y'all real quick. If you had a man, would you rather a man that a father, right? That
Like what?
So like, what your baby daddy? Would you rather him have money and not be in the kid's life, or don't have money and is involved?
Don't have money and is
And
involved. Listen,
definitely
I don't
that.
play that.
I have
Definitely.
both, so I complain about both.
wait,
Which what?
Like both my baby fathers, like one of them give me money and don't really see his kid, and the other one comes around and act like he don't got no money. So I complain about both.
But I'd rather one
Yeah, I
that's
would
gonna be
rather
in the
the
kid's
one
life
that-
and he don't got no.
It sounds like you made some poor selections. I'm gonna hold you.
Yeah, I
Times
do.
two.
I make poor decisions.
Yeah, make sure I hit that like.
no, we ain't talking about you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo. But yo, we appreciate y'all for tuning in. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, listen to the podcast audio Tuesday mornings. Cop the merch, man. Dailyrapupcrew.co, man. Appreciate y'all.
You funny. I ain't gonna lie.